Hello, welcome to Vecna, Eve of Ruin, a story revolving around the god Lich Vecna and his dastardly plans to foil the multiverse now. We've talked about it previously on the main side quest podcast, and if you go to the playlist that this is in, you'll see the other two episodes. This episode, I believe we're recapping the next section, which is still inside of the Catacombs. So I believe the last two sessions we've covered sessions 1 to 3, I want to say?
1 to 2.
1 to 2.
Yeah.
In the third session,
I think we left off at the fight.
Yeah, the big scary fight where...
Big scary fight where everyone died.
Yeah.
Not everyone died. But
Almost-
3 people
almost
died,
everyone
and that's pretty much everyone.
No, 2 people died. Oh yeah, 3 people died.
3 people
He
died.
just came back immediately.
Hee.
Got the
Mommy
self-res,
likes me.
got that
I'm just
self-res.
special.
I'm mommy's
I'm
favorite.
I'm just special.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just special.
So yeah.
Should we do a recap of our
Let's get right
characters?
into
or
this.
just
I believe,
jumping right into
I
it?
believe we can just be like, hey, I'm blank. Editor, you can just put the photos up or something like that. Actually, you know what? Editor, just put the photos over our faces. Boom. Recapped.
You need
What
no
about
context.
the two lads that aren't here?
Editor, fade to black. Here are the 2 characters that aren't here. The one on the left is Beck, played by Hannah, and the one on the right is Morgana, played by Halligan. But yeah, this is the.
I
we
wonder
trying to
what
speed
everyone's
run
classes
this?
is, we'll
No,
never know.
no, it's just we need no introduction, right?
Or maybe they do. It's a new series.
Yeah, but there's 2
yeah,
episodes
it's just-
already on it.
But it's new to someone.
Yeah. Okay. New to someone. Here's the recap. Are you ready? Us as adventurers were hired by Lord Neverember to go down to the graveyard because there's some missing important people from Neverwinter, ranging from actresses to occultists, believers in the esoteric. We went down to this catacomb where we found some cultists that worshipped a whispered one, this Lord of Secrets. And getting into quite the kerfluffle with them, ended up with half the party getting absolutely destroyed. But we
Cheese
pulled through.
grated?
But we pulled through. There's also
No, the
some
cheese
side
graters
things.
are a thing.
Also some side things with some water elementals and fishmen, but
That didn't turn out any. Didn't turn out anything. It's my brain on. You get what I'm trying to say, right? It didn't
It's
turn.
like-
Didn't amount to anything.
There
we
you
go.
go.
very
You did it.
inconsequential. Very inconsequential. I believe we last left off where we were leaving the catacombs with the bodies in tow. If I
Yeah,
am
you
correct.
you brought
Thank
one.
you.
You saved one cultist. I believe your character Ryan, who is
Wa Amani.
This is why I was saying we should probably.
Yeah.
The
touch
editor-
base
Yeah,
on
he
what
is
the
a.
characters
The
are.
editor-
What class
But-
is he?
okay, they-
What class is he?
They
It's
don't know
crazy.
names. They don't
It's
know
crazy.
classes.
What
they
class
don't know
is he?
nothing, bro.
It's crazy how
What
the editor
class
put
is
the
he?
photos up with the name and the class under
What
it.
class is he?
How about if he didn't though? You don't
Hey
know.
guys,
Well, now-
I'm Evan. I play Imrith, the Dream Druid, Eladrin.
Start the fuck.
I am the DM. I was the DM for the first chapter. Me and Ryan are doing a duo DM thing where we swap it around. And spoilers, we've reached chapter 2, so they didn't fail in chapter 1. They actually kind of went fucking crazy and destroyed chapter 1. Took a fat dump on it, but I'm proud of them. They took all the encounters that were there and just whistled it away.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Dropped in lava.
Yeah.
I guess to quickly sum up my character. Hi, I'm Alyssa. I play Noir. She's a bard warlock. She's cool and she's French.
All right. Well, editor, push it back to here where you put everything up on screen. I'm Wa Amani. I'm a red dragonborn cleric.
And the second DM.
And the second DM. Not for right now, though. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and just to get a little warm up, what's your favorite thing about your character? Let's start with whoever. Let's go with whoever has an A in their name, which is everybody.
All right, everybody go at once.
I have two.
All right,
names,
so
2 A's.
So Alyssa goes first.
Okay. Favorite thing about my character that I actually get to fucking play her. Fun fact, we've joked about it before. There was a little campaign we were gonna do called Tomb of Annihilations, and we never got to play it. And Noir was my
Yeah.
character for said campaign, and now I finally get to play her. She's also a duo with Halia, who couldn't join us today, but their dynamic together is very kooky crazy because they're on opposite spectrums. So, yeah,
Do you still share a common factor?
we do. We both worship Mother Dearest, which is the Raven Queen. So,
She was the one who brought her back from the brink last episode,
that's true. Thank you.
but not
Mother.
without cost. How about you? Well, Evan and Ryan both have A's in their name in the exact same spot, so alphabetically, we're just gonna go with Evan.
oh, yay! What was the question again?
What's your favorite thing about your character?
Jeez.
Oh.
Welcome to the new series, everyone.
How lighthearted they are. I guess.
Nice. It is welcome, especially with Morgana and Noir in the party.
Yeah, they're always so depressing, man.
Hey, hey. I'm not as big as a Downer. I'm kind
I wouldn't say
I'm not.
Morgana's a downer. She's more like
Morgana's like
Hostile.
fuck
Killer.
off, don't leave
They're-
me. Like, don't talk to me.
They're
Yeah. Leave me
very
alone.
hostile. Also, just chapter 2. I now have a druid grove. Like, let's go.
true. Spoilers. Yeah, which means you live at the end. So yeah, now the audience knows that you live.
Good
Wow.
fucking job. Thanks, guys. Spoiler
Who
Unless
cares?
The editor,
What's
like,
the-
bleeped all that out.
Yeah, it's gone.
Unless
It's
it was
gone.
just,
Get out
like,
of here.
dolphin noises.
And cut
Be
back.
Ryan.
That he's a dragonborn.
Hell yeah. I like the fact that me and you we're kind of playing the same character, which is kind of fun.
I fucking
Yeah.
love the one thing that you said at the end where, because we were switching, and Noah sent me something about his character, and it's the fact that he absolutely fucking hates color red. And I thought
Yeah.
that disgusted by the
Despises
color
it.
red. So I was thinking about it.
And
I
guess
was
And
like,
then
what?
shifts into a red dragon.
it
Yeah,
would
guess
be-
what
He's like,
color
"Ew, ew,
Ryan's
ew,
character
ew."
is?
I was like, I think it'd be really fucking funny if like Wamani just had the same disposition for like yellow, you know?
Why do you think
I'm
that he's
gold.
quiet all the time?
You wear a lot of yellow.
Bitch.
Ugh. You're being
I'm not yellow.
colorist.
I'm gold.
I hate gold.
Get it right, Ryan.
Yeah, gold is much shinier and prettier, and everybody loves gold. Yellow is
That's
piss.
true.
Meanwhile, you're sitting on a yellow and black gaming chair.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
I'm not my character. Oh, what point was I trying to make there? Anyway, so yeah,
Welcome
last
to the new
session.
series. We promise it's gonna be a little more organized next time. Maybe.
No.
Maybe not.
It will never be
We'll see
more
what
organized.
happens.
We'll see.
When is it ever
I
organized?
think chaos can have some comedic value to it.
That's real.
Always expect the unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we left off. They had brought back the little cult figure who they had taken. Amani had left him alive, choked him out, and they interrogated him briefly. They didn't get much from him before Morgana just slit his fucking throat and killed him.
True.
Because she's a badass bitch, I guess.
Girl boss.
God damn, I didn't know that.
She wasn't. She
Oh, yeah,
wasn't
you
doing
missed
what
that
she
session.
wanted.
I wasn't
Oh
here.
yeah, Evan wasn't there.
Yeah, so this is going to be a recap for
This
you,
is
too.
gonna be a recap.
Feel
this-
free to
Yeah,
ask me
sorry, my
questions.
sister just got married.
Yeah,
no
Evan,
big
you
deal
can-
or anything.
Evan, you can put your own commentary over the recap.
Bet.
Yeah, you can answer the questions that maybe the audience will.
True. Yeah,
my
so they had to spend a couple days at Lord Neverember's manor because people had just died and they needed time to like get themselves back together because the spell Raise Dead gives you a -4 for a couple days. So they did that. They researched on Vecna a little bit, didn't find much before eventually they went back to the graves below the Neverwinter, the Never Death graveyard. It's been a while.
Not to be
Think of
confused
it.
with the paupers part of the graveyard. They were the commoners.
Gross. I believe Amani had taken tongues, and he had actually gone back to the water elemental and the fish dude from the last episode.
Fish guy, and we had a
The
bit of a
freaky fish
conversation,
guy.
which yielded an apology on Amani's part that sounded very disingenuous. He was like, "I'm so sorry," and he was 100% serious, but you know, he's just an NPC. Like that's pretty much it. It's just his gimmick is he stands around, he talks very monotone, and the guy was like, "But I rolled really high. I'm actually surprised. I have nothing in persuasion, pretty much nothing in charisma, but every single persuasion check I've made has been pretty fucking goated."
Is it
Yeah,
goated
you rolled high
with the
enough.
sauce?
Where the fish guy was like, "Okay, I'll believe you. Here's a little gift." It was this little cogwheel, which everybody quickly found out was a stone of good luck. Yay!
Yippee!
So they had a kind of little moment, I think, where they went back and Amani apologized to the water elemental, which they had attacked last session. It wasn't outright hostile; it just wanted to be left alone. And as soon as the group attacked, it attacked back. Oop, camera. But that, I guess they left that off on a good note, and they went back into the pauper's side of the graveyard.
Now, question
most
for
of the cult
DM
activity was
from
taking
the
place.
audience.
Yes,
What's a stone of good luck?
a stone of good luck. Again, it gives you a +1 to saving throws.
It gives you
And
it
ability
gives
checks.
you a +1 to ability checks and saving throws.
It's really good.
And it requires attunement, but you attune to it in a minute.
Good for.
Yeah, I gave it a minor beneficial property from the DM's guide because I wanted to.
It's especially good for bards and rogues. Wow.
Guess who has
Oh,
it right
guess
now?
who has
And
a
the best part
bard?
is, since it only takes a minute to attune, you guys can swap that out. If you're like, we
Yeah.
really need to pick this lock, or we really need to disarm this trap. Toss over the stone of good luck. Bob's your uncle.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
How'd you know my uncle's name?
I'm going to hoard it because that shit makes my spells a little harder to
What?
to fail.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Huh? It doesn't up your
Yeah.
spell DC.
Yeah. It's just ability.
It ups your
What am I
saving throws
thinking
and
of?
ability checks.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're. We all got a bunch of magic items at the start because they're level 10
I bet.
adventurers, and she got a nice little loot, I believe.
Yeah.
No,
How funny would it have
violent.
been if it was just a level 10 adventurers with a base DM's got or
Yeah.
players
Starting
handbook
equipment?
Yeah. This is lame ass equipment.
Base.
Just
Do 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 do.
I'm thinking of
no,
something
don't
else
talk
right
about
now.
Seinfeld around here. I ain't no big fan of Jerry.
Man, that's some basic shit.
Anyways,
Anyways.
Evan proceeds to pull out his base. So they went back to the pauper side. They saw that the area where the fight had taken place, this open dining area, everything had been left as it was. It's almost as if nobody had even entered the room. Of course, the bodies were bloated and they had reached the later stages of decomposition. But other than that, no one had been in the room. So they were safe. No one had known they were there, presumably. So they went and explored more. They went down a big hallway and they came across a room, this little slanted library, which was kind of strange. Like it had like slanted from being pushed down by the earth, and the entire area was difficult terrain. And inside there were a couple cult members, and they seemed to be arguing back and forth. One was like, no, but the book's got to go here, and the other one was like, no. All the A's have to go together. And there were these two little like ghoul
OCD at its
things.
finest.
Yeah, and they were all arguing with each other, and the party just kind of like snuck up on them, and we're like, what's going on here?
that was
That's true.
a moment of all time. Seeing them like are you alphabetically via the title or author? And then just pulling up and being like, fucking nerds.
Yeah, the best part was Amani immediately cast silence in the entire room.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, a lot of the cult members have been cult fanatics, which have some pretty strong spells. Cut to the last fight where we got Kona Colded twice and Fireballed a million
That wasn't the
times.
cult fanatic. That was a mage. But
Oh, well.
the cult fanatics do have some strong spells.
Still trying to avoid that Kona Cold action.
Cone cold and like 7, 8 fireballs,
Yeah, trying to avoid
True.
all that. Trying to avoid all that.
which we survived, by the way.
Some of us did.
Some of us did.
Yeah, the important
Some of
ones.
us-
The important ones survived.
So-
Wow, rude.
Excuse you. I'm gonna tell Morgana.
The audience would like to know who are the important ones.
Money and Morgana. It's a
Oh
joke.
my
It's-
gosh, that's amazing.
It's a joke because we survived. Got plot armor.
Yeah.
Cut back to when Ryan said he was an NPC like
Yeah,
10 minutes
exactly.
Cut back to when
essential
Imrith
NPC.
was the one who healed you guys. It actually came out swinging. I fumbled on my words
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's like that fight when you turn into a
Anyways.
bear fumbling like that. Fumbling around. Oh, hell no. You ragdoll.
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys
no.
quickly dispatched with the cultists in the crooked library room. They were fucking pushovers, especially with the silence that they couldn't do much. You searched the area, found some books, some spell scrolls, and Morgana also found a secret tunnel.
Secret
tunnel.
It led ahead into another room where you heard like some loud scratching sounds. And Morgana just popped open the panel, which led into the other room. And there were two large, hulking, ape-like creatures. And they kind of just looked over. And were like, who's this? We don't know you. They spoke Infernal, by the way, so she could understand. And they were deliberating on what to do with these new figures, if the cult had any ties to them, or what they should do. And the group didn't like respond at all, so they kind of made up their own minds that they were just gonna kill these people, and another fight ensued.
I actually
Well,
think
the
I think
psychopath could understand.
Amani,
So
Yeah.
she was like, okay.
Amani had tongues, and he did try to de-escalate the situation. It's just I failed.
Yeah.
True. What'd you say?
I think I was like, we don't want to fight. And they were like, me hungry. So,
Me when I'm
Priorities.
hungry.
Yeah, that didn't work out very well. But thankfully, Amani solved the situation.
yeah, I cast Banishment at 5th level, so I just banished both of them.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, fight was immediately over. They had
Man,
shit
imagine if
charisma.
that was
so.
the end of the episode.
Anyways, you can
that's
tune
it,
next
that's
And
Friday.
that's it, everybody. Now they explored
We're
further.
joking.
Looked around on some of the other rooms that were attached to the main room. They found like a little kitchen area with some like scraps. I think Morgana took the scraps. Yummy. It was like figs or something.
Yummy.
It's stale bread
Yummy.
and dried meat and nuts and fruit.
And they also found a little like
Beans.
resting area. There were some cult robes which Amani took. Funny story. Amani originally took the cult robes from those bloated corpses back at the start. So he had just like there was like a big stain just on the back. So when he found these robes, he was like, "Yeah, let me throw these away. Let me burn these."
Yeah, get rid of that stinky, shitted robe.
And would you believe it? Morgana found another secret room. Wow.
Secret room.
This one led southwards into an open like office area with a bunch of like bookshelves. There was a little bed, and there was a dude. If you can pull a picture up, editor, like this bald dude with like crows, like a crow necklace, wearing purples. He has some tattoos, and Morgana wasn't being stealthy about it. She kind of walked in, so the dude was like, "I don't know you," and he pointed to this like little spiky creature with one giant green eye at her. Pull it up, and it was like, "You take care of them," and a fight immediately started again. Seems to be very common around here, where they're put in a situation, you don't know what to do, fight happens.
Yeah.
But this fight wasn't too bad. It was a necromancer. He summoned a bunch of skeletons, which Amani quickly just absolutely destroyed with his special ability, being a cleric.
Turn on deck goes crazy hard, I'm telling you.
So
Especially
real.
in a campaign like Vecna.
And he saw that he wasn't really winning, so he had to leave. So he blipped away using Dimension Door, but he whispered something under his breath, which the party heard. He said he was like going back to the entrance area. So they all quickly rushed over, and he was about to catch them as they were rushing towards him with a 6th level spell called like Death Burst or something. It's not. I know it's not
Circle
Death
of Death.
Burst, but it's that general Circle of Death, that general concept, where he was gonna
Uh-oh.
draw out this large circle of death that would have hit everybody, but badass bitch Noir stopped it.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
did.
counter spell?
No, I don't have counter spell.
Wow.
I cast Psychic Lance. It's called something
Ralpham's
It-
Psychic Lance.
that
I think you
casted
mean
that.
I think you mean Dismaroon's Psychic Lance.
wrong campaign, Evan. Anyway, so I cast that, and he fucking failed his save.
Yeah, with I think advantage plus like 6 or something. He failed his save. And for those who don't know what that does, would you kindly enlighten them, Alyssa?
Sure. So, you send this beam of psychic energy towards a creature that you can see or know the name of, and you have to make a intelligence save against, your spell casting DC. And if they fail, they take like 76 damage, and they are incapacitated until the end of my turn. My next
Yeah.
turn.
The damage isn't the good part. It's the incapacitated part. Because after she cast that, he couldn't do fuck all for the entire round. And the party just dogpiled on his ass. And what's even funnier is that, guess what Noir did on her second turn?
Run it back.
Exact same fucking thing. So the guy had 1 turn total, and he couldn't do anything else, and just got absolutely demolished, which I love as a DM. I love seeing the party use their spells and actually get use out of them. And won't be the last time, I'll say that. And I believe that was the it.
Revenge.
We were running out of time. What's funny is the revenge bit is last session. I counterspelled her healing, and I counterspelled both of her spells on 1 turn because I'm evil.
That's true. And then you killed me.
I did. Oopsies.
You counterspelled me twice, and then you killed me.
But you learned. You weren't.
So I incapacitated you twice.
Yeah, and I was expecting to be able to counterspell what you had, but you were actually out of range. So you learned. You did go up. You stayed back.
She
and were able
totally
to,
meant to be out of range.
Totally.
She totally
I
did.
All
totally-
planned.
I totally knew.
Totally
I wasn't
calculated?
encounters-
The mastermind.
It was. I totally didn't just use all my movement to get there, and then just happened to be perfectly there. It just worked out.
Yay!
It's totally calculated.
And with
Get
the
it?
death of the necromancer, one of the strongest members of the cult, that was the end of the session, as I believe people had to go.
Yes.
One of the strongest.
True.
Yippee!
Should we get it into a little bit from the next one?
I was thinking we just
Into
could talk
going
about
into
what
the
happened this session.
Yeah.
True.
Lots of.
Evan, you don't get to talk about what you did.
Yeah, Evan, sorry. But
Sorry.
honestly,
Well,
Why
we
was I
could.
even
We really
here?
could just go into the next session.
Up to you.
Well, okay. Next session. Instead of missing Evan this time,
Vecna.
Beck couldn't make it. So she has a weird thing going on where she's got this like like a rash under her bracelet, so she went out to go get that checked out. And coincidentally, as she left,
Perfect reaction.
Imrith came in, having been fully healed and given a blessing by the
Ogma.
clerics. Yeah, Ogma. The clerics who are working with Lord Neverember. And yeah, Imrith didn't really question everything that happened. I'm not even sure he asked what happened. He was just like, let's just get into this.
He's like,
We have a job to do. We
Yeah.
gotta get
more
it
cold
on.
piece to kill.
So real. And
one more guy to save, right? One more?
Yes,
2 more?
Yeah.
Elden.
One more?
one more.
Elden.
One more. Elden.
It was only Elden we had to save. 'cause
oh
you guys
yeah,
saved.
totally forgot.
Totally
In the
glossed
last
over
session, you guys they had saved the third kidnap member. It was a prissy like drama
It was
kid.
like an actress
Yeah,
lady.
and she didn't have much to say.
Touched.
Yeah, she was just like, this
She was a
place
bitch.
smells awful. I want to leave. And
But also
they just
agree
took her
with
back.
her.
Yeah, real. So yeah, they took her back, and not much more was said. They tried to talk with her, especially because they read a note that had her name in it, but she refused to divulge any information.
Yeah, that was she the goat. Her neighbor's
She was
Vecna.
goaded with the thought.
Oh yeah, it was a funny moment.
And we were like, hey, do you know anything about Vecna? And she was like, I think my neighbor's Vecna, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, my neighbor.
common
I'm
name.
pretty
It's
sure
a
his name is
common
Vecna.
name.
No, the name wasn't Vecna. It was Venka. She was like,
Vecna.
"Oh
No, I
wait, never
know.
mind." Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Different person.
And Vecna and his bunny
So that was-
slippers
that was a
next
funny
door
little
were
moment.
six
The
in his
C-
photo.
The C and the N just get switched.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it could be Vecna. He's hiding in plain sight all along.
Yeah, he's just like, he like sees her walk back to her house and he's like, fucking kidding me.
Young Vecna, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, after they saved that girl, there was only a few bits left to explore in the mausoleum. They met a little zombie that had been walking up and down the halls, seemingly oblivious to everything around them, and they just dispatched it with ease. To put in perspective and to spoil a little bit, that zombie was a cult member that had been tested on by the main leader, the bald dude who you had just killed.
Damn.
They had a ritual in mind, and because she had I forget, it was like she had spoken out or done something against the cult's wishes, so they made her brain dead and a zombie.
Yeah, she tried to alert the authorities.
Yeah, something like that.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
Could've
So
been
that was an issue, and they finally went to the most southern chamber. They quietly opened the door, and they heard chanting behind it. This ritual chanting by like 12 or so people, and they saw their final target in this spherical cage hoisted above the ground. He was pretty emaciated and tired, and they were performing this ritual over him. And the party had to come up with a plan.
So the plan.
Yeah, we did.
The plan entailed of Noir casting invisibility on Imrith, while Imrith was transformed into a spider, which I ended up climbing onto the wall for a bit until I was within 30 feet, which with Dream Druids and Eldrin just have phase step, so I can automatically just teleport as a bonus action, equal to proficiency bonus. So I was able to teleport onto the back of Eldon, and with being as dexterous as I am as a spider, landed on him without him noticing. And then with Dream Druids, they have an ability called Hidden Paths, which allows you to either as a bonus action teleport yourself up to 60 feet, or as an action teleport someone else 30 feet. And so not only with Wild Shape and Hidden Paths not being a spell, you're able to cast it while in your Wild Shape. So that's how we ended up getting Eldon from being inside the sphere to right at the doorway.
Yep. Plan went off without a hitch. And that's not being sarcastic. He stealthed in there, grabbed Eldon, and left. Unfortunately, you guys disrupted the ritual. And there was this blast of silvery purple energy that erupted from the middle where Eldon was and streaked out of the room towards you guys and surrounded the walls and the floor, and eventually all of you began to fall. And when you woke up, you weren't in Kansas anymore. You were in a grave. In fact, it was a deep, 15-foot grave pit full of a bunch of coffins. You each woke up in one. And above you, the sky was dark, and there was ash floating above, and there were these flashes of this yellow light, and you heard sounds, this moaning and shuffling from around you, as all of you woke up in this death pit.
We died.
Yippee!
No.
And that's the end of the session.
Yep, bye.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
You guys already know that at least one of them lives, so. Yeah, they were all confused, trying to figure out what to do. I believe Morgana took initiative here and just said, I'm getting up and looking around, trying to help people. They heard somebody kicking at one of the coffins, who they found out it was Eldon. And because they were making so much noise, a group of, I think it was ghouls, a group of 13 or 12 ghouls began to surround the pit they were in and get closer. But these are 10th level, this is a 10th level party. Easily dispatched them. I don't think it was even a trouble. If anybody have any specific memories of this combat or any moments? I have a couple, but I don't want to yap all the time.
I remember, actually, I think this is probably what Evan's going to mention.
You
No, you go
speak,
for
I
it.
just
No, you go
spoke.
for it.
I just said the plan,
Oh,
you
God,
speak.
guys.
Evan summoned a bunch of
You're
eagles.
so kind.
Evan summoned a bunch of eagles. No, he turned into an eagle. And we were like, okay, let's fly away. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work.
And then it didn't work.
No, because they
literally
managed to hit Eldon, I believe. Not Eldon, they managed to hit you, who
Yeah.
was concentrating on the spell.
But the thing with that is the fact that Evan rolled health for his wild shape. And he rolled really bad. So he had 16 HP or something like that.
No, I was 3 off of the base health.
So you were 23.
They average out
23.
24.
Oh, I thought it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Yeah. No, you didn't summon anything. You just turned into a giant eagle.
Yeah,
I turned into a giant eagle. And then it wasn't until afterwards that I summoned 2 giant eagles because I didn't read my spells properly.
Yeah, so he got everybody on his back and tried to fly away, but one of the ghouls, on an attack of opportunity, managed to land a critical hit, and everybody just fell right back into the pit.
Yeah.
Pig gaming.
Oopsies. But it was just 12 ghouls. I think Amani also just disintegrated 6 of them
Turn
Yeah.
right off the
That's
bat.
true.
Destroy undead. I'm telling you, clerics that are out there.
Clerics, man.
Not only
I
are
can
you the
attest to
best
this.
support, taking help actions, dodge actions. Hell, later on you'll see I usually utilize a spell that I doubt a lot of people use, daylight. And I just took the dodge actions for the rest of my turn because I'm not gonna waste my spell shooting guiding bolts. They're gonna do
So
3d6. It's poo. It's poo. May as well just stand around and wait until someone needs help. You know?
Yeah.
God damn, does
But we'll,
destroy undead go?
Anybody
get to
need
that.
help?
Does anybody need help?
Yes, sir. Do you need help?
Yeah, the Shorten did win hard the past couple sessions. And, all the ghouls were vanquished, and you looked around, and the world was covered in ash, and there were rivers of lava flowing through, creating these, big tufts of rough stone land. which you guys were on one of them. And Eldon, the man who you had just saved, seemed to be kind of knowledgeable about the whole thing. He explained that you guys were in Evernight, a plane between the Shadowfell and the material plane, and sometimes planar travelers can get caught and shunted into this realm. And in order to get out, you had to find something called a Crevice of Dusk, a stable one at that. It was going to be their only way out of here. So we need to look around, and he knew that close by, because Evernight is a mirror of Neverwinter, much like the Shadowfell is, there was a market full of undead, because that was the pretty much all the residences of Evernight were undead. That's the only people who could live in such hostile areas. So he suggested they head over to the market and see what they could find.
One destroy undead, it would have been all over.
Real.
Yeah, about that, chief.
Half the population in that market just.
Maybe on ghouls and zombies, but they're not the only undeads in there.
I cast Destroy Undead. I destroy half the marketplace. One Death Knight casts his death ball at me.
Yeah, especially the first person they met when they went to the market. A figure immediately presented herself, if you want to show up a pic. Fangs bared, cloak wide open. She welcomed the party and introduced herself as Sangora, a vampire salesman. She traded in not just money, but questions as well. And she asked the party if they needed answers to anything. She would happily sell that. And I think Morgana spent 3,000 or so gold on some questions. It wasn't that much, probably not. Yeah.
I think it was maybe. It was a fucking lot because it was 50 per question. And she has 5 or 6.
So
300 makes more sense.
Yeah.
And Hamani also sold her some of his blood for some reason. She just kind of asked, and Amani was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah. See, the thing is, at the very start when we rolled for items and whatnot, I rolled really poorly. So Amani started with he has the least amount of magic items. I think the strongest magic items he got were prayer beads, and the strongest thing on the prayer beads was wind walk. But I was like, I'm gonna sell those, or I gave those up so we could revive somebody. And other than that, he has a ring of mind shielding. So that paired with the fact that he has no gold, he was like, free 40 gold, I guess.
Yep. And I think he took a good amount of damage, 30 or so damage, just because she had to bite you to draw the blood out. And a vampire, she was just a full vampire, by the way. A vampire's bite isn't very soft.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened, and you guys asked some questions about crevices, where you were, and whatnot, and she answered them to the best of her knowledge. It didn't seem like she was trying to scam you all, especially with an insight check, I think, from Morgana or Amani. They were like, yeah, she's just a businesswoman. She won't try to stifle you guys. But they learnt that there might be a stable crevice in a tomb over by the graveyard where you guys just were. She had heard reports or something along those lines in the Dalindar tomb. And thinking back, Imrith had casted a certain spell, which also gave him a bit of insight into where a crevice was.
Commune with nature.
True, a spell you don't see used too often.
Yeah, I originally took it in case there was ever a point where we needed to maybe try and just see what was around. I think we also ended up taking a long rest before we even headed out.
I don't think so. I think you took a short rest.
Was it a short or a long rest?
We didn't take a long rest until
we
were actually there, I think.
Until next session.
Okay.
That's true.
It was a short rest.
Session.
Either way, I still had commune with nature, just because you never know when it could come in handy. Ended up asking about what the lay of the land was like, and ended up getting an answer saying that there is a tomb of sorrow within 3 miles.
Mm-hmm. One of the questions you could ask for Commune with Nature is if there's any planetary involvement or like big areas of interplanar activity, something along those lines.
Here, I'll pull it up.
Crevice. The weird shit.
Yeah, and that was very good. And here's the thing I want to mention was I could have just, because of what the spell says, realistically you should have just known the location of it, and I could have just told you. But then you wouldn't have even needed to go to the market. You wouldn't have met Sangora. You wouldn't have had that interaction at all. And I want to ask you all, would it have been better if I did that so that Evan could have gotten more use out of his spell and felt better, but you would have missed a moment?
Who cares?
What's more important?
I think
That moment was funny as shit.
the flow of story is more important than the utility of whatever you're doing. Like, I think what's most important is like the player's enjoyment. I feel like that moment, if like Sangora and the city weren't a part of it, that's just a huge moment of like player enjoyment from that session that would have been missing. So I think it's important to stay true to the rules, make sure people get as much use as they can, but you shouldn't neglect the fact that there is like moments that like, oh, people are gonna like this, and you don't want to miss out on that. So
Yeah, it also just adds to it adds more flavor towards an otherwise boring information dump.
yeah, and the fact that
True.
we're in such an odd place, it would make sense for the nature around to be kind of like deceitful or withholding of information. It made sense, you know.
Like, nature has a lot of expression to it, and if you're just given information very bluntly, it's not really fun.
Yeah.
So having that expression to it, and each environment being a different expression kind of thing, it makes sense.
Yeah, for the audience, when he cast Commune with Nature, I had it so that the voices he heard were kind of gravelly and undead in nature, and just like Speak with Dead, it didn't give him a concrete answer on what he was looking for. It gave him vague these vague responses, like it's in the sorrowful tomb.
Mm-hmm.
But according to what the spell says, that should not have happened. You should have just known where it is, and that's kind of the point where. But I think it's more important to bend the rules to have a better flow of story, because you would have just missed out on the entire city had I just given you the location of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have just speed run that whole fucking place.
Yeah.
If we just
And
knew.
Some people might think differently. Some people might be like, he cast the spell, he should know where it is. And I get that viewpoint too.
It's just up to the DM's discretion.
I definitely think based on where we were and the fact that we're foreigners here, the nature being like, you aren't from around here, I'm not gonna just tell you. It makes sense narratively in that.
Plus,
in that
we
regard.
also just got here like completely randomly.
Yeah.
There was no natural way that we could have come here.
Yeah, you got shunted. It happens. It says in the lore it could happen as well to just any interplanet traveler. Sometimes they just get caught in between two places. Oh, big thing I forgot to mention. When you guys had been shunted for the first time, you saw these visions throughout the multiverse.
Oh,
You saw
thing.
an undead figure draped in gold inlaid armor. Below him, his robes were billowing ribbons of this pinkish mist that were constantly flowing through them. He was plucking strings, taking this energy out of people, and placing them atop this golden spinning ball, plucking secrets and placing them to his own memory. And he looked back, and a portion of this figure, Vecna, was attached to all of you, and you would all gain some sort of link to Vecna. If someone would like to explain what that does. Perhaps
Sure.
Brian?
Yeah, sure, yeah. So
Thank
the
you.
metaphysical link to Vecna, what it does is there's a manifestation of it. When you hear the name Vecna or you think of him, it could be as simple as a chill runs up your spine or a scent of some sort that reminds you of him. Or in some cases it could be as blatant as I tried to make it, as anytime I hear Vecna or I use the ability that this thing grants, which I'll get into in a second, my entire left eye glows pink. It's my left, by the way. It's all mirrored. And what it does is it gives you scene visibility once a day for free, goated with the sauce, and also it gives you an advantage on insight checks, which makes a lot of sense for a guy who loves secrets. But yeah, it's a manifestation and a metaphysical link to the Whispered One.
And not only that, because of this link you had with Vecna, you also seem to have a certain affinity with secrets. Throughout the adventure, last episode specifically, I mentioned moments when a character would say something, and you would feel its weight pass over you without fully realizing what that was. With this link now active, you realize you can use these secrets in a way you couldn't before. You could use an action to whisper the secret out to the multiverse, causing it to disappear from the minds of everybody within the party as you cast this secret out. But in doing so, the entire party gains advantage on everything for a minute. It's pretty pretty good, I'd say.
Pretty
Good.
goated with the sauce, if I do say so myself.
And they realized they had
Too
two
bad, I'm
secrets in
never
their
gonna use
possession. Well, we'll get there.
I'm not.
We'll get
I'm
there.
not starting it.
No, probably
I'm
not.
going to willingly do it. If someone else does it, I'll reap the benefits. But I'm not willingly doing it.
It's like when you have like a really good healing item or really good poison, and you never want to use it, so it just stays in your inventory forever.
Or you could just be like me. First thing, everybody's losing horribly. We're trying to keep someone alive, and then advantage.
Speaking of that moment, the party with their hot tip from Sangora went over to the Dalindar tomb, and on their way throughout the ashen mist, they spotted a figure just kind of leaning against the side of the tomb, and he just kind of like started talking to himself, where he was like, "Wow, can't believe it was that easy. Too bad Sangora is not gonna see her favorite playthings anymore." And I believe Amani tried to say something, but that was after I had already rolled, and 3 other vampire spawns immediately lunged out from the surrounding mist and circled the party, and a fight occurred.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
oh man.
this was a rough
another
one.
old
This
boy.
one started. It's so over into we're so back.
Yeah, they were. It was 4 vampire spawns, and they what they do is they grapple people and suck the life out of them, and most of the party has pretty high AC, so it'd be hard to hit most of the time. When they did, it hurt. But the main issue was that they had no way to stop their regeneration. So when the vampire spawn would get hit, if they didn't do a specific thing, they would slowly regain their health, and they weren't dealing enough damage to offset this regeneration. Additionally, a person who could stop the regeneration, the elven figure, who they realized was a cleric, he had cast Spirit Guardians, and the radiant energy seemed to stop their healing. But the vampires immediately rushed to him, and he wasn't very strong, so he immediately got grappled and had most of his life sucked out of him, to the point where... So vampires have this ability where if they take your health from you, you lose that amount of maximum HP. It's like 3d6. And Eldon, with his shitty ass HP, got bitten so much that his max HP became 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who became a withered husk. And the fight wasn't looking too good.
Motherfucker alive.
Yeah,
I
and it was
felt so
in this moment,
bad.
this scary moment when everybody was getting attacked, that the first secret was whispered out to the multiverse by none other than Imrith. Yeah. Which I think was worth it, because the fight was looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Man, we're in a tough spot here.
It was tough too because most of the spellcasters had like no high level spells at that point.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
rest
a lot
from-
of free.
This would have also been a great spot if I took daylight.
Yeah. I will say Amani did save the group because you cast Turn Undead and pretty much all of them failed it. And that I think that was a big tipping point. Was when they instead of attacking you guys, now they had to run.
So right before I did that, I turned to Evan and
We're
I
both
whispered
just looking
something
at
to him.
each other.
I went, "Hey Evan, you should summon some giant eagles. Remember that lava? Yeah, we're gonna drop them in lava." And then I looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, we made a plan."
So
hey, table talk.
I,
If you don't like it, you don't like it. But come on now.
we were literally sitting right beside each other, and it was hard not to.
We were gonna die if we didn't do this. So.
Yeah. So I conjured up my 2 giant eagles that I had already summoned twice earlier that day. And then on top of that, turned into a giant eagle myself. And as these vampire spawn were running away, me and my birds just hunted them down, grabbed them, flew over these pits of lava, and then dropped them. But before that, there was one that I had grabbed and just flew like 240 feet up in the air. And just a
Splat.
vampire spawn pancake.
Yep.
So what are you supposed to do? You can't attack the thing that's holding you because you're just gonna plummet and fall. So you kind of just gotta hold on and do nothing. And they were also turned, so they were terrified, and all they had to do was run. So the giant eagles grabbed them and slowly moved them over to the lava and just dropped them in.
Yeah. Player
that's
ingenuity.
awesome.
Player ingenuity. All right. Hey, you say there's lava, but hey, it also opens up the possibility that giant eagles in the future will grab us and throw us in lava. Real life.
Very
By
true.
the
I
way,
thought it was a
not
great
in game.
moment, and you really turned the fight around.
True.
No pun intended.
And after the fight,
Good job, boys.
after the secret had been cast, you were finally had access to the Dalindar tomb. That is where the fourth session
Fourth.
ended.
Four.
Yes.
The fourth session.
Which I also think is probably a good ending point for today, so we don't run on too long.
General thoughts of how the
General thoughts,
last 2 sessions
yeah.
went?
It was so funny when we dropped them in lava. I'm not gonna lie.
It was really funny.
Got them.
I think we have.
I think it was
executed
also
two-
funnier because I was drunk.
2 fucking great plans
Yeah.
of rescuing Eldon, genius, invisible spider teleporting him out, super smart, dropping some. Admittedly, it was a little bit late in the fight. Everyone was super low. No one had any spells. Dropping them into lava as late as it was into the fight, it still worked out just fine. So
Hey, a late plan is better than no plan.
exactly, and it was also very
Better than being dead on the concrete.
very valuable lesson of always, if you think there's something coming up, you gotta have a plan. All right, you gotta. And I know it's not super it's not super engraved into our brains because it's like we'll just do our own thing and it'll work out. Something I've noticed, especially just because I've been reading Vecna since I'm the other DM, some things you need to have a plan going into, and I think chapter 2, whenever we get to it, it will be painfully apparent that we forgot to make a plan again, and it might not end too well. So,
Oopsie.
but there's-
We're a group that doesn't plan.
hey, listen, fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me three
Fool me
times.
3 times.
The
Shame
best
on me.
plans are the ones you come up with in the moment. I think it'll be fine.
Absolutely, there's information that you've learned that you'll utilize. But for these sessions, we adapted, we made a plan on the fly, and going forward, you'll see that even when we don't have a plan, Psychic Lance exists. So,
That's
Very
real.
true.
and I'm sure that's going to be
That's
a
real.
concurrent thing. However many episodes of Vecna there will be, I'm sure probably every single episode we'll talk about Psychic Lance, because there's going to be an encounter where someone gets Psychic Lanced and they can't do anything. So, yeah.
Lucky for Ryan, he rolls well.
Yeah, that one kid.
That's true.
Listen, without too many spoilers, I actually did roll very well, but I'm gonna use different dice next time to hopefully not roll so well, because
Use the dice that sucked when you play.
no. Those dice were really good when I DM, so I'm not gonna use those ones.
If you want to hear about this moment and more about the psychic glances, you can have to tune in to more Vecna next week.
Yeah, and as always, it's Fridays 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for the regular side quest, it's Monday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Which, by the way, we can leave a little message for our past future selves. Hey, if this was released on the Friday beforehand, yippee! If not, yeah, stuff did come up. My bad, guys. Past us, sorry, but you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Take your lumps.
Yeah, take your lumps, dude.
And remember, be careful who you tell your secrets to, because you never know who's listening.
Cybersecurity.
And remember, hope!